Are you kidding me? Hey, Joey Starr here for Starr Quality Kitchen. Today I'll be trying out Cousins Maine Lobster, which is a lobster shack franchise featured in many food shows and even on Shark Tank since 2012. With restaurants and food trucks spanning 60 cities across the United States, they are the leading provider of the tastiest lobster roll in the US. So when I found out that one of their trucks was going to be in Danbury today, I decided to go see what the hype was all about. Did you see what I did there? So I am at the Summit in Danbury. The Summit is kind of like this gigantic complex, part resident, mostly business, all sorts of stores and business offices and all sorts of neat stuff. The place is huge. So I visited the FoodTruck and it was a bit disorganized. First of all, it's 28 degrees outside. So you would hope that there'd be a sense of efficiency where you would say, hey, let's try to get these people through here as quick as we can because they're outside freezing their butts off. I was out there about an hour and the FoodTruck was only visiting that spot a span of 3 hours. And there was a lot of people there, mostly people that work in the Summit. They were pretty frustrated. The shame of it is that just from what I witnessed, I would say anywhere from 5 to 10 people walked off because they were frustrated. They didn't have enough time because they were on their lunch break. So considering the price point, I would say that Cousins Maine Lobsters stood to lose a lot of money from those that walked off. Anyway, let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to the food. Picked up the lobster bisque. Now, I haven't had lobster bisque a lot of times in my life, but anytime that I've had it, it's always been okay, not great. Let's get a good look at what we have here. Big old chunks of lobster in there. The bisque has a nice, smooth looking texture to it. The aroma, a bit smoky, a bit sweet. Definitely a very lobster-esque kind of, not very briny, but definitely very lobster-like. And it also comes with these Westminster Bakery's oyster crackers. Never even heard of them, but my understanding is that this is crackers that Cousins Maine Lobster deal with exclusively. So I'm sure that's based on a consistent quality. Let's go ahead and get the maiden bite here. A touch smoky, bit sweet, smooth. Nice and warm. Let me get a spoonful with some nice, look at those chunks of lobster. And we just kind of, look at this. Yeah, big chunks of lobster here. Already better than the bisques I've had in my past. First of all, the flavor of the actual bisque is already better. And look at this, big chunks of lobster. The best I've had prior to this are like little tidbits of minced lobster. This is actually, looks like they chopped a lobster up and put that in here. Looks like a little claw meat there. Yeah, looks like a little bit of claw meat. So go ahead and try that. Lobster's tender, a little bit of a chew, good chew. Not briny at all. Let me tell you, the seasoning in this seems to be just right. You forget that seasoning is part of the equation because it just tastes so naturally delicious. And the lobster has a little bit of a sweetness to it, like good lobster meat would. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take another spoon here. Yeah, top 5 lobster bisque. Absolutely. Top 3 lobster bisque? Absolutely. Top 1 lobster bisque? Absolutely. Like, it's not even close. In case you're wondering, no, you're not crazy. I did get a haircut sometime in between the previous scene and now. All right. I think our test is not complete unless you drop some of these oyster crackers. Let's try one by itself. Not bad. That's the oyster crackers. They taste like oyster crackers. They are good though. So let's drop some into the bisque. Mix it all up in here. Drop it all up in here. Mix her up. Get a spoonful bisque and cracker. It's good. Nice crunch. Tasty. Almost a pretzel-like consistency. Let's try a little bit. I got the oyster cracker. I got the bisque and a little piece of lobster in there. It goes very well together. Cracker adds just a hint more salt to the bite. It helps that combination of a good oyster cracker with a smooth textured, tasty lobster bisque. Yeah, I don't think you can really go wrong. And after standing out in that cold for over an hour, chilling my fingers, just holding this in my hand and just tasting this is so comforting. I feel very comfortable. Next I have the lobster grilled cheese. I mean, look at that. Oh my goodness, that is great. Now, I was having trouble deciding on a couple things, but I was like, you know what? Where else am I gonna be able to go and just order a lobster grilled cheese? Then Cousin's Maine lobster, right? I want to get this while it's still relatively warm. It's still kind of melty. We're just gonna break open this piece of it. Let's just see, kind of get a little bit. Yeah, we got a little bit of cheese bridge there, going there. See. Oh. Not bad considering that it's no longer hot, it's just warm. That's really good. Okay, nice aroma. Honestly, I smell the grilled cheese part of it more. Barely smell the lobster, but you look inside here, you can see, again, similar to that bisque, big old chunks of lobster in there. I mean, they're not skimping on the lobster. And for the price point that this food truck is I would hope not. Nice soft bread. Crust is not crispy, but almost a little bit crispy. Not a real crunch to it. The middle part, of course, is tender. Cheese is kind of bright. Let's go ahead and take a bite. So I took one little bite. Had a good amount of lobster in there. Good amount of cheese in there. Bread is tender, buttery, smooth taste. That lobster. Ooh, such a huge lobster flavor. Not just because I'm biting the lobster. I know something about it. I've never taken a bite of something with lobster that packed so much of a lobster flavored punch to it. Really good. Again, you got to bear in mind that this isn't that fresh. It's minimal 20 minutes or longer from the time the bag was handed to me and took a bite here. This is, like I said, barely warm. Flavor is absolutely there. I can only imagine how much better this tastes if I was sitting at one of their restaurants and just had it served to me. Take another bite here. For how long this has been sitting, the crust part, although obviously tougher than the middle, it's a reasonable amount of chew. It's not tough, it's not hardening or anything, it's good. Nice tender. I can't get over that buttery flavor and how well it melds with the lobster meat that's in this grilled cheese. I almost can't talk about it. If you love grilled cheese and you've never had a grilled cheese with lobster in it and you like lobster, or better yet, if you love lobster, you haven't quite lived yet. You need to try this. One last thing to try with the grilled cheese is for somebody who traditionally likes to dip his grilled cheese in tomato soup. How can I not try to dip this into this delicious lobster bisque? Let's give it the old dip. Give that the old taste test here. Get it in there, nice and ingrained. Just soak up that bisque, this bread, and take a bite. That already delicious, prominent lobster flavor that's in this grilled cheese, combined with the smoky, creamy smoothness of the bisque. When that soaks up in there and they combine, it's a beautiful marriage of flavor. My gosh, dip in there some more. If you're ever at a Cousin Maine's lobster restaurant or food truck, do yourself a favor. Get yourself the lobster grilled cheese and make sure you have some of their yummy lobster bisque to dip that grilled cheese in, because this is the next level of awesome. Next, I have the Connecticut roll. My understanding is that this is Cousin's Maine Lobster's most popular lobster roll. Unlike the Maine roll, which is served cold, this one is served warm. I purposely saved it as for this part of the review because, as far as I'm concerned, it is the main attraction. I can't promise you that that'll be the last dad joke of the video, but it's possible. Just gonna hold it up. Nice roll, tender, little char on the outside, loaded, absolutely loaded with lobster, right? Look at that. Isn't that a beauty? It is a beauty. It is quite the beauty. Nice soft roll. Bear in mind, this has been, heated, whatever, served, toasted. It's been out here 25 minutes minimum. Still nice and tender. Now on this one, I can really smell the lobster, the sweetness of the lobster meat. It's a very pleasant aroma. It's very alluring. This lobster's just calling out to me. It's saying, "Come here, Joey. Come eat me. Your wish is my command, dude. Let's do it." Mmm. Yes. Mmm. So juicy and tender and chewy. Right combination of sweet, that seafood flavor, that lobster flavor. So good that I forced myself to slow down in my chewing so that I can extend the pleasure that came from chewing that bite. What a delicious roll. Top 5, maybe even top 3 lobster rolls that I've ever tried in my life. Let's get another bite here. The roll has a bit of butter in there, not overpowering the least bit, not salty at all. In fact, I would say no salt was added at all, aside from maybe a little bit of seasoning. Good lobster. Whatever they did or didn't do, it was the right thing. Because you want to allow the natural, delicious flavor of the lobster come through without being overpowered by the other stuff, and it does not. Like, if anything, this roll, that butter, only helps bring forth and pronounce the flavor of this lobster. And let's talk about the lobster for a minute. I've had lobster countless times. I've gone to Red Lobster. I've gone to seafood restaurants, people's homes, restaurants, specialty cafes, you name it. This is one of the best quality lobsters that I ever had, possibly have ever had. Seriously, I mean, the quality of this lobster, yeah, so tasty. So perfectly, I mean, the chewiness, the tenderness, it's just right. It's like when you bite into this, it's almost like you have trouble accepting the fact that this came from a food truck. No kidding. This actually came from a food truck, not a brick and mortar restaurant where all they have to do all day is make this lobster. I mean, that's what this tastes like. It's so good. I love how the butter and the bread doesn't do anything to increase the salt. Great job, Cousins Maine Lobster. Seriously, I can understand why this is your most popular lobster roll. As of right now, this is my favorite lobster roll, Connecticut roll from Cousins Maine Lobster. Cousins Maine Lobster Classic Chocolate Whoopie. It's basically a whoopie pie. My understanding is that this is not outsourced. Cousins Maine Lobster makes this themselves. So I didn't try this. It's funny, as a kid, I wasn't big on the whoopie pies. Didn't really care for, like, Hostess Double Dogs, none of that stuff. But as an adult, I find myself taking advantage of any opportunity I can to have a whoopie pie, especially if it's one I haven't tried before. I can tell you right now, I even take the package, I can feel how tender this is. Remember, this food truck came through, this was already packaged and ready to go. It's not like they made it on the truck, and yet it has a nice soft feel as if it was made today. Give you a peek. Ooh. It smells so good. The cream from the middle just has this nice scent to it, this nice creamy aroma to it. The outside smells like a fresh brownie. And my goodness, I'm just kind of drooling here. And whoopie pies can be kind of messy because they stick to your fingers, so it's just happening now. Let me go ahead and take a bite of this because I'm actually salivating. I don't usually salivate over dessert, but... Wow. Are you kidding me? Best whoopie pie ever. I am not kidding. It's like you're biting into a cloud. You bite into the sucker, barely had to apply any pressure. I just cut right through the cakes, through the cream. Get hit with the sweetness from the cream. Smooth. What I like about the outer cakes of it is the risk you run into with whoopie pies, especially packaged whoopie pies, is that when you get to it, a lot of times the cakes will be really dry. Like you need a glass of milk or two to have one whoopie pie. And this, I can see myself eating this entire thing and not even taking a drink of anything. And look at this. I mean, this is a pretty good, compared to my head here. I got a big head, so that's a bad example, but let's just compare it to this 16-ounce bottle of Propel here. Just give an idea. I mean, it's a pretty good size pie, right? And yeah, I mean, so tender, so good, so tasty, not the least bit dry, moist, delicious, not overly sweet. I don't know what else to tell you, except don't torture yourself like I am going this long between bites. I'm taking another one. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, whether you go to one of their restaurants or you go to one of their food trucks, you get anything from Cousins Maine Lobster, get yourself a lobster roll, and absolutely, I don't care if you're diabetic, get yourself one of their classic chocolate whoopies. Totally worth the sugar spikes. So delicious. So to recap, Cousins Maine Lobster, food truck in this case, or a restaurant maybe in your case, depending on where you are. Service could have been better. Food, freaking excellent. Sucked the wait out there for over an hour to get this, but once I got it, I completely forgot how cold and miserable I was out there because the food was so damn good. Best lobster bisque I ever had. Best lobster grilled cheese I ever had. It's also the only lobster grilled cheese I ever had, but better than most grilled cheese that I have had. Connecticut lobster roll. Best lobster roll I ever had. Served warm. Most popular lobster roll that they serve, and with good reason. Best whoopie pie I've ever had. You see a pattern coming here? You see that pattern? Tender, not overly sweet. Is a dessert that you can just devour and not even touch a glass of milk. And of course, the ultimate combination, taking your lobster grilled cheese and dipping it into that lobster bisque, letting it soak up and take a slow bite. Ultimate lobster experience you're ever going to get from a food truck. It is no wonder that Cousins Maine Lobster has been featured on the Food Network, on Shark Tank, USA Today, endless shows and accolades. And if you go to their website or if you could visit one of their trucks, you'll see all their little accolades printed across the top, telling you where you've seen them before. I don't know about all the other locations that they're located at, but this one here, this food truck in the greater Connecticut area, they've sold me. They come by again, I'm there. How about you? What's your experience? Have you had Cousins Maine Lobster before? What's your favorite thing to get from there? Have you tried the whoopie pies? Do you love them or do you just not like whoopie pies? Answer any of all those questions down in the comments section below. And while you're down there, if there's another like famous or, highly franchised food truck you think I should check out that rolls around the greater Connecticut area or Putnam or Westchester County, New York, even Orange County, New York, I'd be willing to drive out to for the right food truck, let me know. Who do you think I should visit and review? And what should I get if I go there? What do you recommend? Thank you so much for watching Starr Quality Kitchen. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and stalk. Laters. The only thing sucks about having this lobster grilled cheese with this lobster bisque is that this is the last bite. Now I'm gonna go home sad.